There are 4 words that I'd like for you to take away today, and there will be a quiz at the end to see whether or not you remembered them. Those 4 words are one river, ethics matter. Today's panel is based on the structure of the Columbia River pastoral letter, that document, and this is a copy here. That document has 4 sections. The rivers of our moment, and that component will be presented by Bishop William Skylstad, who was in many ways the force behind the pastoral letter. And the second panel is Rivers Through Our Memory, and here with us is the chairman of the Upper Columbia United Tribes, Wynne, who's also secretary on tribal council for the Spokane Tribal Indians, who will recount what happened to the river as a result of the dams. The third section of the Columbia River Pastoral Letter, the Rivers of Our Vision, really through the leadership of the tribes and the First Nations, the effort to modernize the Columbia River Treaty, and I will give a very brief overview. And then the 4th section of the pastoral letter, Rivers as Our Responsibility, and Bishop Martin Wells will speak to that. His opinion piece, recently published in High Country News, is also in the packet. So with that,
was appointed very quickly. Consisted of 18 members representing a broad representation in the watershed itself. A widely representative group of members of the Native American community, the academic community, the religious community, the commercial community, just ordinary folks as well. So it was a very broad group. But I must say, in all of those sessions, reading the Signs of the Times and the listening sessions, that those were always held in a respectful way. There was no yelling or screaming or shouting, but there was a deep sense of frankness and honesty, and yet by the same token, I think a common concern for the Columbia River watershed. There are 22 resource consultants involved in the project. Also, this led to a draft of a letter then that was reviewed by the bishops and other groups before the letter was finalized in January 8, 2001. It's the Feast of the Baptism of the Lord. And the letter has been published in English, French, and Spanish. All of us are in this together. And we need to have a deep sense of reverence and respect. When you look back at the history of the Columbia, that reverence and respect wasn't always there. In fact, very often people were completely brushed aside with the decisions that significantly impacted their culture and their history. And hopefully, as we look to the renegotiation of the treaty, we will approach that in a much different way than we have in decades past.